Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel English Fluency Lab, where I help you improve your English language skills. Friends, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the difference between the four words critic, critical, criticism, and critique. Now please note the pronunciation of the last word. This is pronounced as critique. Alright, now let's jump into the video right away. Let us start with the word critic. Now a critic is a person. There are basically two types of people who are critics. The first one is a professional critic. A professional critic is someone who specializes in evaluating art, films, or literature. He could be an art critic or a movie critic, etc. The critic writes reviews about works of art to say what they like and don't like about them. So basically, a professional critic will write about something. It could be art, it could be movie, it could be literature, and they will tell you what they like, what are the good points about it, and what are the bad points about it, what they don't like about it. So that is a professional critic who will give you both sides of the picture. The second type of critic is a critic in general, and that is someone who tends to find negative things and points out faults only. This type of critic likes to criticize, meaning to make criticism negative comments only. Now this is a general critic who will talk only about the negative points, as against a professional critic who will talk about the positive as well as the negative points. An example of the second one is the president's critics say he's not devoting enough funds for national security or to national security. The president's critics say he's not devoting enough funds to national security. Now those are critics in general. Okay, this is not a professional critic, right? So I hope you understand the meaning of the word critic, right? Now let's understand the meaning of the word critical, right? Now this word, friends, has got three meanings. Now let us understand them one by one. What is the first meaning? The word critical has three meanings. When describing a person, it means the person is finding fault. Let's look at a few examples. My father was always very critical of my work. He said I would never be a good writer. That means his father always used to say negative things about him. That is how critical is used in the first meaning. Another example, the critical person always finds fault with everything. Negative, right? My boss is very critical of my work. That means my boss always says things negative about my work. The critical customer complained about the food. Okay, the critical customer, that means a customer who's always saying negative things about everything. Okay, the critical customer complained about the food. So that is the first meaning of the word critical, where you are always negative about a particular thing. Let's go on to the second meaning of the word critical. When describing a thing or situation, critical means essential or extremely important. Let's take a few examples. The cricket player made a mistake during a critical moment in the game, causing his team to lose. Now let's say the cricket player missed a catch or something, a very crucial thing in the match, right? And because of that, the team lost. So the cricket player made a mistake during a critical moment, right? A very important moment. Second, access to clean water is critical to the health of the population, right? Critical means extremely important. You can't do without it. It is critical to wear a helmet while riding a bike, right? This could be a matter of life and death. That's why we are saying it's critical. The critical moment in the movie was when the hero saved the day, right? We are talking about a very important moment, right? So that is the second meaning of the word critical, where we are saying it means essential or extremely important moment, right? Now let's move on to the third meaning of the word critical. When describing a medical condition of a person, the third meaning is describing the medical condition of a person. He had an accident yesterday. His condition is said to be critical, which means that he could lose his life. His situation is so bad that he could lose his life also. Okay, so that is the meaning of the word critical. The doctor said the patient's condition is critical. That means he's battling for life and death. The critical patient is in the intensive care unit, ICU. So that is, friends, it has got a medical meaning, right? The critical patient is in the intensive care of the ICU. That means his condition is very bad, right? So that is the third meaning of the word critical, right? So I hope you've understood the three meanings of the word critical. Now let's move on to the word criticism. What does the word criticism means? Criticism is negative comments, identifying faults or bad points, right? Now criticism is always negative comments. My project idea received a lot of criticism from my colleagues. They said it would never work, which means that my project idea received a lot of negative comments, nothing positive about it. They said it would never work. The teacher gave the student some constructive criticism on their essay, right? While the teacher gave negative comments, it would help the person to improve the essay, right? So it is called constructive criticism. While it was negative, but it would help the student in improving the essay. The politician received a lot of criticism for his decision, right? Negative comments, right? Now let's move on to the word critique. A critique is simply an evaluation. It can comment on the good points and or the bad points, right? So critique is basically good and bad both. Let's take an example. In his critique of the book, Martha praises the excellent character development, but says the plot moves too slowly. Okay, so this person has reviewed a book, right? And that is what a critique does, right? She has reviewed a book and she has talked about the excellent character development, which are the good points, but says the plot moves too slowly, which are the not so good points. Okay, so she's talked about both. The teacher gave me a critique of my essay, suggesting where I could improve, right? So teacher gave me both the points. She gave me the good points and she gave me the not so good points, suggesting where I could improve. The artist asked for critiques of her work so that she could make it better, right? So this is where you're asking for critique, means you're asking what are the good things about my work and what are the not so good things about my work where I could improve. So friends, I hope you've understood the meaning of the word critic, criticism, critical, and critique. So friends, if you have liked this video, if you have learned something new, please give me a like, please share with friends and family. And what I would like you to do is that now I would like you to make a sentence with all the 4 words and put them in the comments box. I'll be happy to provide you with some feedback. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.